Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. Happy November. It's nice to finally be in a different month, and maybe this month can be the complete opposite of what we saw in October. I will say we're starting off on a green note. We finished yesterday on a green note. That's always very promising to see. And the question is now, are we going to make some progress over the weekend? Are we actually starting to see some retail confidence re-enter the space? Do want to talk about that just a little bit, but I want to look at also how things have been set up on a leverage standpoint. Is this actually where we can get a little bit of a push to the upside because of leverage? We'll discuss all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So you guys can see that ADA is now stacking back-to-back green candle days together, and we are dealing with a little bit of lower volume entering the crypto weekend here. $136 billion in trading volume over the last 24 hours. You guys can see ADA, $744 million. Obviously, this is coming down off of the typical $1 billion plus trading volume we have per day. But we're again still in a pretty comfortable spot across the crypto market, and we are seeing some assets go actually on some pretty nice runs. Just for some comparison, these are some smaller assets in the market. Virtuals up 29%. We actually talked about this a lot in my my Patreon, my Discord that I have. BitTensor flying, doing really well right now. I think there was another one, ICP, up 14%, but many assets right now are up 2, 3, 4, 5%. Some of the smaller caps really surging hard. ADA has yet to make this move, but is this a move that may actually be coming over the course of the weekend or into the early part of next week? Now, we'll talk about that more in just a moment here, but BTC is fighting really hard against 110K right now. I can't tell you how many times my 110K alert went off over the last 24 to 48 hours. It's super annoying. It's killing the battery on my phone. So, but here we sit, a 109,961 at the time of filming this video. Great bounce again off of our 200-day moving average, kind of bouncing between our 20 and our 200-day right now, and looking for a sense of direction here. But here's what I will say. The good news is that we're not fighting institutional selling this weekend. Yesterday was another day that we were fighting institutional money. We had $191 million in BTC sold by institutional players. On the Ethereum side, $98 million sold. So the back 3 days of the week was selling, trying to just make the markets hemorrhage. Didn't really work the last 24 hours or so. So that's a very good sign. And I saw this post as well. I thought this was pretty interesting. This was from Ask Crypto Wealth, Oz. And he says, yes, a top normally consolidates for 4 months. And he was being facetious because it doesn't. And BTC's kind of been stuck in this period of consolidation for several months here. This is not typically what you see around tops, which again, it's a very promising sign. And again, it keeps going back to this. Can you unconvict the convicted people? Because that's what they're trying to do right now. Sellers are exhausted, frankly. All right. And these last several weeks have shown exactly this. Even off of our big liquidation drop, you didn't really get the next extension down. If you take a look back here, right? Take a look back when we had our largest liquidation event in crypto history to that point, February 3rd, right? We had our nice bounce back, nice recovery, but we kept dropping. All right, we kept dropping. We had a nice recovery, bounced back to the same zones, but we dropped even further, okay? This is where the sellers were not exhausted. You saw some more capitulation. You saw some more people freaking out. We're not getting that this time. Although we've come down to kind of similar levels on this drop, it's not really this similar extension down, all right? Now, there are people that are trying to push the market down in a big way. In fact, shorts have filled in pretty significantly during this time. For example, take a look at the BTC liquidation heat map. This is just a 3-day. So you can see over the past 3 days how this is kind of filled in right above these prices, right at about 111.2 or so. 111,250, but the weekly chart is even more telling here. If you look at over the last week, just look at the amount of shorts that are trying to suppress price right now, that are betting very heavily on price going down. For example, James Wynn, the inverse win as we call him, he's betting very heavily against the market. He's like, yeah, even though my shorts are in profit, I'm adding more to my shorts. It's a big recipe for disaster, just saying. But what's interesting is many assets are showing very similar trends here to BTC. In fact, if we look at ADA just on the 3-day to begin with, you can see there is some long leverage filling in just below here. But just above here, we have some pretty thick concentrations of short leverage that could be liquidated. For example, at 62.20, 21.64 million ADA could be liquidated at that level. But the weekly chart, again, is even more telling. It paints the much bigger picture. Look at the difference. We have such heavy betting close to price here, trying to suppress ADA price. If we get any sense of push in the market, if we get a volume surge, you could very easily see ADA actually run back up above, it looks like 70 cents. Now, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. This would be ADA breaking back within structure, be blowing past its 20-day moving average. Hell, we'd almost be retesting this trend that was building from back here on August 30th. So we'll see if we can get any sense of this push over the course of the weekend. Again, the weekends tend to be pretty quiet. They're lower volume, but yeah, we're slowly but surely seeing this retail retest here, this retail just slowly inching back into the market. So we'll see if we can make any progress before we get to Monday, but that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate it as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think this weekend is going to bring? Is it going to be kind of dull? Will it bring a bit of excitement? But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.